Yeah, g'day. Well, in today's video, I am going to make another water feature for, I don't know, someone's garden or something like that. This one is going to be a play on Star Trek's transporter. So it's going to have a steel structure with two rings, one at the top, one at the bottom. The water's going to come out of the ring at the top and hopefully go into the ring at the bottom. And it's going to be lit, so little droplets of water will create like a tube effect. Yeah, so we'll just go through. I don't really know where I'm going with it, but like everything I do, we'll just give it a go, see how we get on. So here we have I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with the light because it's a bit of a problem. Because if we want the light to shine directly down, which would be ideal, and then we could have the holes at the bottom of the top cavity, then you really want the lights to be facing down. But as you can see, these underwater silicon tubed LED submersible ones, they kind of only want to go around corners like that. They don't lie down flat, or I'm going to put it the other way at this stage. So I just thought I'll get this piece of aluminium, which would be the light plate, so to speak, and then get some I'll probably get some, tie this on with some cable ties and just go slowly around here and see if I can actually get it sitting relatively flat. So the circle we got is like a 600 circle. Yeah, so I'll do that first, see how we get on, see if it's going to work, give it a go. Well, about halfway around, and it's going okay. It's sort of leaning over. I think it's going to work. It's pretty. I won't do too much more time lapse of that because that can get a bit too much. But yeah, it's going good so far. So let's crack on. Okay, so that's got that bit done. Now I have a water trough that we're going to use for the reservoir, which is going to be underground. So the ground level will be here on the top of the reservoir. I'll put a piece of perforated sheet over that, and then you can cover it with rocks. And then the water which splashes over the side or whatever
can go down into here. This is 900 diameter, and the circle of the transporter is 600. So there's a bit of gap around the sides. Anyway, at the back there is a ball valve. So, we'll fill the water up and cut it off at a level, and then I'll put a drain just above that, and the drain can go out and be drained to wherever they want to drain it to. And then this is the upright, and then there'll be a return coming into, from that upright, there'll be a return coming into the reservoir here, so all the water, and then in here there's a pump. So the pump will pump the water up a tube that goes right to the top and then out to the top ring, and then with the little holes all the way around it. So then they'll get the water coming down and then land in the bottom ring, and then back into the tube, down and back into the reservoir. That is the plan. So I'm going to crack on with just making a steel frame. So a couple of legs down here, and then a piece of steel going across like a triangle that the sheet can sit on, and that they become the legs for the thing. So you can pop the whole metal part of it over the top of the reservoir. Which is all going to be underground, so you don't see it. And then the wiring just comes down the pipe and it goes off to plug in. So let's crack on with some metalwork. Righto, that's the frame, the bottom frame done. Now I've got the main upright, and these bits here I'll just cut off. So this is the upstand, and that's the top, and these pieces here welded on there, and they come up, and then the big circle at the tops on there, and this is lying on its side, of course, and then this one here is for the bottom ring where the water comes down and lands in that ring, and then floods down and then down, and then this is outside the reservoir, and then I'm just going to put that on there, and the water will go sideways back into the reservoir. So I'll just weld, I can weld that bottom one on, but I won't weld these on until I do the rings. Righto. So that's the main part of the frame all welded up. It's good. I put some feet on it with some holes, thinking that just to have the option to be able to bolt it to a bit of concrete or something that's down there first. So that's it there. That's the down comer, should we say, the vertical piece. With a kickback for the water to go back into the reservoir. So next thing I'm going to do is cut the sheet of perforated steel that just sits on the top that the rocks can sit on. So I'll do that now. Righto, all the rings have arrived that have been water cut by Y Innovations here in Wanaka. If you need things water cut, I suggest you use them, they're very good. These are the top rings. So these ones on the outside, these will be welded on the rolled up the sides. Those two, and then this one we'll be able to take off with some bolts here so I can access the light bar inside the top ring. So that's top ring, the top of the top ring. That's a bottom ring. Then I've got some 75mm high 3mm sheets which I will roll up. And then this is the bottom of the top ring. So I've marked and cut out, marked and drilled all these holes, which are round about just above where the little LEDs are. So hopefully we'll get some good light going through there with the water. Just put on these 6mm, welded on these 6mm bolts with a little nut welded on at the right height. So then the light bar will just go on there and bolt it on, and that's why I've got the access ring at the top so we can get in and out of this thing, get to it. And seal it off from the element, from all the shit coming in off the trees and stuff. Yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment. So next stage is to roll up those pieces of steel for the sides and fabricate these rings. Okay, so here are the rings all rolled up. That's 4 of them anyway. So now here's one of the inner rings. I'm going to cut it square and then start there and tack it around, weld it up, cut the other one off, just like that. Okay, so my argon ran out, so I had to shoot off some more off. But anyway, I've finished that, welding those rings and that together. So that's the bottom ring. The water's going to land in here. I'm going to 3D print some splash arresters that'll go around in the trough. And when there's no wind, the drop of water, the water will flow down into here and then down this tube, back in the main upright, back into the reservoir. So next I need to work on the top tube. Okay, that's all tacked together now. That's the top ring. This is upside down. Now the hole's where the water's going to come out. So now just weld it together all the way around and sand it off. And that's getting close with the top ring done. Bingo. Righto, that's the top ring all welded up, and I've welded on the little outstand bit. So and this is the light bar that's just slipped over these bolts welded in there. This is for the cover. The cover ring goes on here, screws into these little lugs, and then this cutout here is just above the light bar, and hopefully this will fill up and any excess water will go out and down the upright that way, because ideally you want the LEDs submerged in water otherwise the light bounces off the top of the water. So if they're submerged, the light goes down through the hole, down the water, down the water dripping thing. So now I've got this top ring done enough, and then the bottom ring is done enough. So now we get the upright and light on the table, and then we're going to set these two rings on the upright. So that's next. Okay, that's that done. Now I did some painting off camera. So I painted the inside of the circles just to keep the rust at bay. So yeah, painted the inside as much as I could paint inside the end bits, the bottom catching ring, and then basically everything underground, all that part of the thing. So next I put it back together. So I put it together for real this time. So I'm just cutting out the tube. I've got the tube coming up here, and then this piece is going to go in there to direct the water around both sides, sort of thing, and then connect onto that one. Yeah, and then it just goes down the tube to the bottom and then out and into the pump, which is in the reservoir at the bottom, underground. And then after that, I'll put the light ring back in there for good this time, probably. Got to use this bit of tube to feed the wire down the upright. So I'll get the top all buttoned up pretty much. Ends up having to put the light bar in first and then the pipe, not the other way around. Yep, and then that's fastened in there, pipe connections. I just used a bit of a hang up from aeroplane days. I just used lock wire to tie on the pipes. There's no pressure, that'll be heaps. Good enough. Yeah, so all ready for the covers now. I've got it turned on, don't know if you can see it. So all the light will come out of the holes where the water drips out and down to the bottom ring. This whole thing's lying on its side, remember? Amazing. So next I've got to print, 3D print, well, draw up first, but in this bottom ring here, I'm going to 3D print something like with spikes coming up to help arrest the splashing. Kind of like those things in the bottom of urinals, stop the splash going everywhere. So that's going to be a bit of a drawing process and then 3D printing. And I think I might do it out of something like clear and then light it. Put some lights in there as well. Woo, fancy. Okay, do you know what day it is? It's rollout day. Okay, now that's all hooked up, it's ready to try it out. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Okay, there it is. It's running, but needs a few adjustments. As you can see, the pump, I've got it on full. It's a 3,000 litres per minute pump. But I'm not sure about the head because it might be a bit high. Sorry about the light. The sun is a beautiful day today. Yeah, and some of the holes need a bit of a, I don't know, it's not flowing out as much as the others, so you might need to clean the holes a bit. But the big problem is, as you can see, it's not filling it up to cover the light bar. So you need quite a flow to get it up here. Quite a powerful pump, I think. I don't know. It's all working alright. So yeah, partial success. It'll look good. We'll try it at night time, even though it's not filling up. We'll try that first and see what happens. it might just work enough to get the effect. But anyway, looking good though. It's amazing. Okay, it's another day. So what I did was I've got a new pump. It's more powerful and it can push a bit more head, so it's not hooked up now, but I've done it, gave it a try, and it works way better. Look how, this is a bit of ice here, bit of a cold night. Anyway, I tried that and that's working better. And the only other thing is that I taped up every second hole, so we've got less flowing out, and that gets the water level high enough to submerge the LEDs, so that works well better. So I think I'll go with that. I'll probably weld up those wee holes, the other ones, so we just got one set of holes, and stick with that. Okay, I think I'll leave it there for this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and thumbs up and all that goodness. Leave us a comment. Tell me how I'm getting on with these things. And I will see you in the next one.